Oh, are we on?
Oh, hi! And good evening. Welcome to Facebook Live, RTV6 app. Is there anything else I'm missing? We're on something else, too, probably, right?
Are we on the .com, like specifically?
No, I don't have the iPad ready.
It's on the way.
Anyway,
That's 8 o'clock.
It's like we were having dinner, and you're just like, oh, hi, come on in. Welcome to Horseplay. It is week 5 now.
Yeah, how about that?
I'm Dave First.
Don't mind me.
Brad Brown.
Zipping up here.
Zipping up. The legendary Michael Grady.
The mayor's here.
The hardest working man in Indianapolis media.
Oh, no.
Man. You only had the one preseason game with the Pacers, though, so you get a couple weeks to breathe before the 20th.
Yeah, what happened there? All of a sudden,
I got to make the trip down to Evansville.
Oh,
I got to make that trip. Yeah, I got to go down there.
Oh.
So. Look out, Evansville.
The voice of, coming to the Ford Center.
Look out, Tropicana.
You get to head down to down on I-69.
Wow.
Where you literally can go like 95 down I-69 and
Hey,
no one cares.
That's good to know.
Split some aces and double down for me on it.
Okay, there you go. Gotcha.
But here's the thing, though. As someone that I don't speak about this too often. Not that I don't want to or anything, but thank you. I'm originally from Newburgh, Indiana, which is right there by Evansville.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you very much. Are you from Newburgh? Or are you just happy to be here? Okay, great. And so growing up, I never had I-69.
No.
It literally took 4 hours to come to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And we had relatives here, we had family here, we had friends here, and I always wanted to go, Dad, let's go to Indianapolis. You know, the Pacers are doing something, and this is before the Colts. Yes, I'm that old. Yep. And so now they put in I-69, and literally the first time I'm on it, I'm with my wife, and I'm just like, oh. She's like, what's wrong with you?
One little tear.
I said, you don't understand. I'm zipping through Jasper and Washington and Vincennes and all the, I'm just like, this is the greatest thing ever. And anyway, so have fun with that.
Thanks, yeah.
The only thing is you got to plan ahead. Gas and bathrooms. You really can't find them on the way down or back. So I'm just saying.
Good luck. Okay. All right. Make sure. Okay.
Anyway.
Stock up. Well, you got it.
Just a little advice.
Fun, I appreciate that. I'm going to need it.
Uncle Dave passes that along.
Yeah.
Well done.
You will like the Ville. It's a great town. All right. Hey, we're talking some Colts eventually here. Throw up the big graphic thingy. 29-23 was the final
That's a
yesterday.
nice graphic.
Who made that graphic? Brad, did you make that graphic?
I did.
Wow.
Look at that.
Everything's spelled right and everything.
It is succinct. There's a lot of information that means something on there, and the Colts won. About that, 29-23. The number that it was real. I think T.Y.'s 10 for 171. It seemed quiet to me. When the fourth quarter rolled around, he walked off kind of that last drive, and they said 10 for 171. I don't know that I was paying nearly enough attention so that added up.
He started hot, and that's the offense. It went up tempo really on the first handful of drives and scored on the first 4 possessions, I think it was. Then they slowed things down. And then when Chicago got back in it, they had to pick things up again. And so T.Y. was hot, then it was quiet, then T.Y. was hot again at the end. So strong showing from him, and they needed that. They absolutely needed that.
That was one of those deals at the end. You start looking at the stats. You're like, my goodness, I had no idea this happened. Yeah. Or the Bears, 520?
522.
2 yards.
Wow. Yeah.
There's an interesting stat with that, and we'll get to that here in a second. But the questions are already coming in. Here we go. Fire Grigson.
Not really a question.
Even after a win, that was really, there was
More
no
rhetoric.
question on that one. Manning for head coach. Peyton's going to be a GM of a team before he's going to be a head coach. Is that fair enough?
Yes. Correct. Front office guy, totally.
Luck was good. Yes, he was.
Agreed.
We saw a lot of the good Andrew Luck yesterday. Yeah, I mean, anytime he can. I think we talked about this last week. I think Andrew Luck at this point he's going to throw for 350 yards, but he's going to give it up 2 times a game, I think. And that didn't happen yesterday.
No. He's done a better job these last couple of weeks of taking care of the football. As we talked about in the past, the problem with Andrew Luck is not necessarily his play. It's the fact that the team needs him to be Superman in order to have a shot to win these football games.
Yeah.
We're bemoaning the fact that they just don't have a complete football team around their franchise quarterback. And a lot of folks are talking about what Ryan Grigson said on the radio, I think it was late on Friday. On Fox Sports Radio, about the fact that Andrew Luck's contract kind of hinders his ability to build that defense, and it's going to take some time. The problem is this is year number 5. This is not year 1.
Well,
this is
year You're
Fine.
one of the contract.
You're one of the contract.
Which makes that even worse.
Right, exactly.
I mean, Bill Polian is sitting there on year 12.
Right.
Then he starts complaining about the contract.
Yeah.
The
contract didn't surprise them. We knew this was coming. The kid was going to get paid by somebody. Jim wrote the check.
Yeah.
The big number was going to be there. Don't act like all of a sudden it's like, oh, we got to pay this guy now?
Yeah.
Yes, you got to pay him. You knew that the whole time you were going to have to pay him.
And we talked about this before, too. Again, when Peyton Manning went to the Broncos, he got a nice little contract when he went to the Broncos, and they were able to build a defense around him in the same amount of time that Luck had been in Indianapolis. And so it just
it's
it
doable.
comes off. It absolutely is doable. You just need to be good at the job.
I thought the comment was Bush. I'm like, really? Yeah. You're in a position. You've got to do this. It's been done before.
That's right.
I understand why you're complaining, but no one here is going to be, on your side on this one.
No, not at all.
That's his money, not GM. Got Peyton. Peyton's not going to be the coach. It's okay. I get that. But it's just not going to happen. Chuck Pagano spoke earlier today. Players were off. But Chuck spoke today. We've got some sound, a couple of sets of sound we want to hear from Chuck. What's the first one?
Yeah, the first one is just really about the game. It's kind of funny. The Colts win next week against Houston. They're first place in the AFC South. Again, I thought this division was supposed to be much better.
That's what we... We all talked about that at one point.
Yeah.
Ooh, they're going to be better.
Yeah.
Oh, the Jags have improved. Oh, Tennessee, look what they've got. Houston, oh, man.
It may very well only take 9 wins to get the South.
Yes.
Which is not unheard of by any means. There have been bad divisions that have been won by teams with less than that even.
Or even losing records.
That's exactly right. But to start the season, we were really looking at an uphill battle of 10 or 11 or 12 wins to win the South Division. Then Houston, with the injury to Watt and their quarterback situation, fell apart.
Yeah.
You still are big question marks with Tennessee and Jacksonville at this point. So now, just start it all over. It's going to be about a 10-week sprint to the finish.
Yeah.
And there's a possibility, I think, everybody could be 3-3 at the end of, or 3 wins, whatever, at the end of week 6, depending on how it plays out.
Yeah, so anyway, as far as Pagano was concerned, happy about the win, and he talked a little bit about the significance of that W earlier today.
It kind of got lost, in whatever, the fact that I think we all forgot that we were in London, not too long ago, and we didn't have the bye and all those things, and so it was big. It was big for a lot of reasons, and just what the doctor ordered for this building, this organization, everybody at West 56. It's a totally different world. It's a different feel, obviously, when you win, and something that we certainly can build on. And now you get that win, and you still have the the bye down the road in your back pocket, all those kind of things. But that's a long ways away, and Houston is obviously top priority right now, but it was big.
Well, he smiled there for a second.
For a second.
Well, in the back of his head, he's going, I'm not 1-4. I'm not 1-4. I'm not 1-4. Because that's you're done. 1-4, you're done. Teams don't make the playoffs at 1-4. I think maybe there's 1 or 2 that have, but it's just it. And even it's as messed up as the South Division is, it just turns into one of those things that it's really hard to turn around from.
Yeah, the real thing, the thing is, they got the victory because they found a team that was
worse than they are.
A bigger
just as much of
dumpster
a mess.
fire. Yeah, a bigger dumpster fire than what we're seeing here with the Indianapolis Colts. The Bears, not a lot of discipline, some mistakes you're seeing out there on the field. The defense hasn't been consistent. The offense is Brian Hoyer as their quarterback, and they've had some injuries. Lost a key wide receiver a week ago. The Colts, again, against that team. Give up 522 in total yards, career high in passing yards for Brian Hoyer. Jordan Howard, former IU running back. The Bears came in as the 26th rushing offense in the National Football League. They put up 120-some yards in the game, 118 from Jordan Howard. There used to be a bend but don't break philosophy here. There's a lot of bending and a lot of breaking.
Well, like one of those car lot guys out there that's this kind of bending right now.
I'll say this. Actually, I thought yesterday was the epitome of bend but don't break because we had, 8 field goals in that game?
Yeah.
So nobody's scoring touchdowns at least.
Nope. And Chicago missed one twice.
Right.
Yeah.
Missed one with Connor Barth, and then there was a penalty. I go, okay, we feel bad. Move up and try it again. And he shanks that one as well. Yeah.
Giving your 8-year-old a little closer to the plate.
Robbie Gould, who's making $5 million for the Bears for about 2 or 3 seasons, all of a sudden, hey, look at that bad now if you're a Bears fan.
Yeah, they're sitting on couches in Chicago doing this tonight, and they're just out of their minds.
Makes you appreciate what you have in a guy like Adam Vinatieri. He's
no question.
He's about 67 years old, and he has hit 67 field goals in a row.
Makes you look young over there.
Right.
Hey, 67 is the new 27, okay? So it's all good, man.
But he's amazing. He's been amazing.
The clockwork with which, and I think Adam attested to this during the postgame and has all season long, it's that unit with Overton, McAfee, Vinatieri. Boom, 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 boom. Those guys, there's a lot of teams that don't have a unit like that really take a genuine pride in what they've got there. And I think that McAfee and Overton, being the young guys of that group, have an appreciation for what Vinatieri brings to the table.
Yeah,
Experience that. It's clear. It's clear in this case.
The father figure is kind of funny, kind of cliche, but no, he's kind of a father figure in that locker room, and those guys are young. They keep it light. Obviously, Pat has the jokes going, but so a funny dynamic, an odd couple between those two. And we talked about that last night on Sports Extra. But Vinatieri's had a great season, and Pat has had a solid season as well. Great game yesterday. Averaged 63.3 on his punts.
That's crazy.
And Jordan Todman took 20 yards away from him.
Right.
Took 20 yards away.
Killed that one.
It's just they're weapons, no doubt.
Pat's the perfect antithesis. Pat's character is the perfect antithesis to Vinatieri.
Yin and the yang.
Vinatieri is this old guy. He's got gray hair, very staid, very proper, And even when you talk to Vinatieri, Pat's in the background. Hey, come on, talk about yourself. Let's go. Come on, you're the greatest. Let's go. It's perfect. It just works out so well, It
is.
To be able to come down the field, though, and pretty regularly come up away with 3 points, and we can hark on field goals and how there are games when getting too many field goals is going to hurt you. But it's the equivalent of a baseball team being able to generate a run in an inning. Be able to go out and get a run. Double, bunt, steal a base, something like that. 3 points 5 times adds up.
And you need 7s, not 6.
That's what I'm saying.
At some point, and it goes back to playing a team like the Bears. There's games when you can get away with 3s, but it's coming now pretty quickly where you're going to start to play teams that you got to have 6s.
You can't do it. The better teams. If you're raving about your 2 kickers, you have some problems. You have some problems with
Dial
your
in the compliments.
That's right, folks. That's what this has become. It's special teams theater here on RTV6. We're praising #4thDownArmy.
Hey, best in the league.
It is what it is. All right, inside the numbers, though, let's talk about Frank Gore a little bit. Yes, he's only been around here a couple years, but, the dude's, first ballot Hall of Famer at this point?
He's getting it. I think he's getting
second ballot at least, probably, right?
I think he's definitely getting it.
Who else is on that ballot, but he's in at some point.
Yeah, anytime you invoke the name Jim Brown and say some player just went over one of his marks, you're like, my goodness.
Yeah.
But Gore's been around for a long time, and now he's taking dead aim, I think, at Tony Dorsett. That's the next one on the rushing list. Vinatieri, again, 5 more field goals, 38 straight. Our pal Mike Vanderjagt has the NFL record for 42.
Oh, happy Canadian Thanksgiving.
So there you go. Is it really Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's Canadian Thanksgiving.
I missed that whole thing.
It is, yes.
I talked to Hinchcliffe earlier.
He's got a lot going on.
Yeah, he does.
He's got a lot going on. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, the stars. It's happening right now on RTV6. I'm not saying switch away, but I'm saying you can still watch us on Facebook Live.
Multitask.
Then have RTV6 up for Dancing with the Stars.
Somewhere in here.
Vote early and often. Yeah. By the way, the 522 yards that the Bears had offensively.
Yes.
Most yards by a losing Bear team since 1947.
Ooh, wow.
When they lost to the then Chicago Cardinals 30-21.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Chicago Cardinals, Chicago Bear rivalry.
Oh,
takes me back.
That was big.
Takes me back, yeah.
I should have dug back through the book to find out the last time the Colts gave up 522. Give up a number that big. That's an awfully big number.
Is that going to be that? Maybe the Jacksonville, Jaguar game when they
either that one or one of those Pittsburgh games.
One of the Pittsburgh games.
Yeah, Roethlisberger put up big numbers.
550 or 60. That's a valid point. Yeah. Alan was talking about Thanksgiving night on here. I just saw this. Alan was going on about circling Thanksgiving night. The Steelers fans are already ready for that. Coming to town here. A lot of football before that.
Here's the thing. There's a trend this season. The Steeler fans on Thanksgiving night are going to fill up.
Oh, epic.
Not fill up, but there's going to be a ton of black and gold, black and yellow.
Yeah. Orange and blue yesterday.
15K-ish. blue and orange yesterday.
That's it.
It sounded more than that.
It sounded more than that. Yeah.
He's taking the over on that.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, just walking around downtown Saturday evening and Sunday during tailgate time, I know a lot of the Colts fans are coming from local, so they're not tailgating downtown, but just in the vicinity of the stadium around 11, 12 o'clock, heavy Bears fans.
Spend their money. There are some great restaurants and bars downtown.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
We like. If you're watching us in any of those cities, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, come eat, drink, and be merry.
I thought it was weird. I saw a lot of Forte jerseys running around. I'm thinking, I'm not even on the Bears team now.
You spent $150 on that jersey. You're going to
wear the hell out of it.
You're going to wear it out,
absolutely. Till it is wore out, yo. That's why, hey, there's a lot of Dallas Clark jerseys still running around Indianapolis right now. I see a lot of blue and white 44s. A lot of heavy-set white dudes with mustaches are hanging on to a lot of years later.
Who wears 44 now? Is it Morrison?
Every time he runs on the field, I think somebody's lost.
I am so with you. Why is that? Because we've seen 32s out there before.
Yeah.
We're never going to see an 18 out there.
Right.
But I mean, we've seen 81s. We've seen.
Yeah. I saw there's a 63 on the offensive line now that I saw pop up. It caught me off guard a little bit because I don't remember seeing that
now
since Jeff had played there a few years ago.
But you see Morrison out there, you think, what the hell are you doing on defense?
between Clark and Ahmad Bradshaw, it just doesn't. Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute.
You're going the wrong way.
Right. What kind of package is this?
Right.
That's.
We took again the comments. And keep coming with these because these are outstanding. One of them had something about. Again, they wanted Peyton to be the head coach, which is not going to happen.
Will this be
bring back
Mathis?
Polian? Bring back Polian.
Will this be Mathis last year? Alan's asking us.
Yes.
Mathis last year?
Yes.
Yeah, no.
In a Colts uniform,
This is it. I think, period, probably. Unless he has a big second half of the season and something magical happens.
Yeah, we had it in the inside the numbers there. 522 yards given up, and you could barely lay a hand on Brian Hoyer. And if you can't protect your quarterback, and you can't generate sacks on your own, you are going to have a tough time winning football games. The Colts have zero sacks in the game. The Bears had 5 sacks. For the season, the Colts have sacked opposing quarterbacks 7 times in 5 games. 7 times in 5 games.
Simple football. If you want to get something going on defense, you got to be able to disrupt the quarterback.
Yeah, you have to. And the Colts haven't been able to get quarterback hurries consistently, and they haven't been able to sack the quarterback. And in the meantime, Andrew Luck is still getting sacked at a number that's far more than any other quarterback in the league. 20 sacks so far this season. The next number is 17.
Well, how about 11 sacks in the last 2 games?
Yeah,
Andrew Luck's.
Down.
I mean, the Colts.
That was against the Jaguars and the Bears.
Yeah,
There are far better defenses coming ahead on this schedule.
Yeah. Seriously. I mean, there were seasons not too long ago with this franchise where they gave up 12, 13 sacks the whole season.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
They've given up 11 in 2 games.
Yeah, that line would go multiple game streaks without Manning getting sacked.
Yeah. And that's a number of different things that they can try to figure out. Pagano was talking today about Hoyer and whether it's his excuse or not. Hoyer had I don't know if it was a joke or if it's serious. I didn't see the broadcast, but I guess somewhere written on his glove or somewhere Hoyer has hot potato, and so it's just kind of a reminder to get rid of the football as soon as possible. And so that obviously helps out that Bears offense because you're getting rid of the football quick. Defense can't get to you. Now, even if he didn't have that hot potato philosophy, I still think that he could have a cup of tea, order lunch, and still be fine making a pass before anybody got to him. But that's something to keep in mind for the Colts. Can Andrew Luck get rid of the football a little bit quicker?
So maybe our offensive line on the back of their glove should block that guy.
Right. So just some nice little reminder
Stop
there.
that dude.
So it's either receivers need to get open, the routes need to be much shorter than what they're running, or Luck just needs to get rid of the football faster. I don't know.
Well, I'll say this. The play calling yesterday helped Luck a lot because he was in the shotgun 98% of the game. Yeah. And a lot of that was, he was practicing this on Friday. Quick rollouts, dumping it off to the tight end or whatnot. It was better, but it still could be much better.
Yeah, and I really like the up-tempo. I really like the no-huddle. Yeah. At the end of the day, whether you're going no-huddle or if you're slowing things down, you have to execute. So that's the key. You need to execute. But I just thought the rhythm Andrew was in when they were going no-huddle and when he was in the shotgun, he had great command of the offense. There were mistakes out there, but that comes with the territory. I just like the flow that they were in.
You got to make the best of your situation. If your line is not going to give him time to do it, then go quicker. And that's the other thing is that when it came up in the Jacksonville game the previous week, they went no huddle. It threw off the rhythm. There's a defensive rhythm that gets into that if you get settled into that. And that no huddle does that, and it gives them a little bit of an opportunity. Andrew's a smart enough kid, and he's got the athletes there to run that no huddle and to make those plays, little dink and dunk, if they call it there, and make it just move the ball down the field, and then eventually go get that big pop, like they did with the pass to T.Y. that put him ahead in the fourth quarter. There's a big play to be had there, but you've got to kind of earn it by moving it a little bit at a time.
Absolutely.
Yesterday was a great example of when he gets in a rhythm, he meaning Andrew Luck, the offense looks so good out there, better. It doesn't look great out there, but, it looks better. And in the third quarter, when they didn't go no huddle, you're thinking, oh, yeah. We remember this. Let's not do this anymore.
Right, no, please.
Yeah.
right.
They went
exactly.
padding McAfee's stats a little bit there.
And on the injury front, Dante Moncrief is still still week to week, but he's progressing and looking like he's moving in the right direction. I think he's a big part of what they like to do on the offensive end too. Not that Chester Rogers has been able to make some plays while he's been out there.
Yeah.
Quan Bray made some plays in the passing game, but you just can't replace that rapport that a quarterback has with one of his main receivers.
So what I'm hearing from Chuck today was that he's closer, probably not going to be back, though, for the Sunday night game.
Probably not going to be back this week. On the defensive side of the ball, Darius Butler. Seems like Darius Butler plays, gets hurt, misses a week, comes back, plays, gets hurt, misses a week. Now he fractured a finger, and he is going to be out. He's going to have surgery tomorrow, going to have a plate put in the finger. And
Do we know
going
which
to miss.
finger?
I don't know which finger it is.
Come on, where's the follow-up questions on this? Chuck, which finger?
Bush reporting.
We were too busy going, ooh.
I know, yeah. That hurts just a little bit thinking about it.
Change the subject.
Yeah.
Dude's been through everything.
Jason chiming in on Facebook Live, going back to where we started earlier. It's ridiculous that Grigson blames the lack of line on Luck's contract. Not only did he structure the contract, but we have $10 million in cap space. They just don't want to spend the money for more. For some reason, sorry they didn't spend the money after Luck gets injured again and can't play. It's getting painful to watch week in and week out.
Yeah, no, look, again, it's excuse. I didn't really like the comments at all. A lot of Colts fans didn't either. The bottom line is to be a successful GM, as a GM, period, you're going to have misses. Bill Polian's Hall of Famer. He had misses.
He has misses, absolutely.
But you have to have a lot of hits. And Andrew Luck was a hit, but that's kind of a no-brainer. You give credit for T.Y. Hilton, and there have been some other guys that look like they're going to pan out, but there have been far too misses than hits, whether it's Trent Richardson, whether it's LaRon Landry, whether it's Greg Toller, Patrick Robinson, who was toast in this game. It is a long list. And so, there are hits. But the number of misses is, a mile long. And so regardless of what you're paying a guy, whoever you bring in and add to the mix, they better be a hit.
Trent Cole.
We can just call Reggie Wayne. He knows all.
Reggie Wayne knows the list.
Yeah, Reggie's been keeping score. That's pretty good.
More from Chuck?
Yes, we were just talking about the offensive line a moment ago, and Chuck was asked about that staggering number, 20 sacks for Andrew Luck's been sacked 20 times so far this season, more than any other QB. Pagano talked about that.
We got to be better, and those guys are working extremely hard. You can just point to those things, and you never want to give up sacks, obviously. And we've got to get it corrected. We got to play better in certain situations, but there is improvement. There'll continue to be improvement, and so we just keep working on it.
Already.
It's kind of cute.
Was that from today or from last Monday?
No,
or from the Monday before or the Monday before? I want to check the timestamp on that clip. That
And this is
familiar.
a recurring theme
Like
here.
a tweet from a year ago. Costanzo Muhort, and then obviously Ryan Kelly's the center. Good, I thought played better, no pun intended, yesterday.
Yes.
Joe Haig, I don't know I think I would prefer to see Wrights whenever he's healthy, whenever that is.
Yeah, I think that's probably the issue at this point. Haig still seems to be feeling his way about the whole thing, just trying to get it.
Costanzo he's gone MIA. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, it's hard to miss him.
Nice guy. I like him a
great
lot.
guy.
I like him too.
Fabulous hair.
I like him too.
And
He's got great hair.
he holds up that corner of the locker room really well. But he was another big deal when he got here, and has just kind of faded a tad.
How about Jarrell Freeman coming back yesterday?
Best defensive player on the field, maybe. Yesterday.
Vontae Davis would argue with that, but
Fine. Fair enough.
Jarrell Freeman,
Yeah.
7 tackles, second leading tackler for the Bears. I had a chance to talk to him after the game, and he just seems like a guy who, when he came back to Indianapolis yesterday, really wanted to be in the other locker room because he's been there 4 years.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of ties here. He had a foundation that started here. His heart is in Indy.
Yeah.
His body right now is playing in Chicago.
Yeah.
So he's a little bit torn, and talked a little bit about that after the game.
You spend 4 years somewhere. You get, rooted in the community, doing things. I started foundation. You get here and you get back, and a lot of family that I call family, a lot of brothers on the other team. But once that whistle blows, man, there's a job to do. Close is not good enough. We gotta get out there and execute, do what we're supposed to be doing. When you play good teams, those small things turn into big things. And we got to short some of that.
Yeah, I like Jarrell. And you talked about Grigson and the decisions that he's made, and Chuck to a certain degree as well, because they're all kind of tight at the hip now. But I think looking back on it, especially after C.O. Moore, the situation there, Trent Cole,
Nate Irving,
Nate Irving,
Yeah.
boy, they should have had Jarrell.
Yeah, the linebacking core is just not looking very strong right now.
Yeah.
And if you and you're right, if you're going to make the decision and say goodbye to a Jarrell Freeman, you better have a guy that's ready to step up and replace him. And Nate Irving was supposed to be that guy, gone.
Yep.
C.O. Moore is supposed to be that guy, gone. And so it's this carousel now, and it's unfortunate because you felt like you were making the right decision.
Yeah.
And whether or not you feel he's worth the money, you better have somebody there to replace him.
I just feel like Ryan Grigson is the ultimate optimist about a lot of guys that he believes in. That he's reaching on a lot of guys, and that he's brought in free agency wise, and draft wise. He sees something in these guys. God bless him, but it's just not there.
No.
Todd Harriman's is the one that jumps to mind for some reason.
another one.
Harriman's was supposed to come in and save that line, and now he's what?
I don't know what he's doing these days.
No.
But
Side
but just
project.
sometimes you just feel like you feel like you can find a diamond in a rough. And you feel
that's
like
cool.
you're better than
And I don't mind that.
That's
you
great,
but you better be right.
Sometimes you don't need to go digging through the rough. Stuff's right over here on this pile right
Right.
here that isn't so difficult to find.
Right. Yeah.
You got to make sure you have a base before you find these diamonds in the rough. I mean, in the Colts' heyday, they had a guy by the name of Edgerrin James. They had some pretty good running backs, and then they took Dominic Rhodes.
Yep.
Here's an undrafted guy. Let's take a chance on him.
Right.
And he damn near became the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah. Valid point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I think you got to have a much better base of players before you start reaching for guys.
Right. You're
bake
exactly
a good
right.
cake before you worry about the sprinkles.
Yep. That's right.
What the hell kind of show is this? Right? No, I'm with you now. Yeah.
I love the cooking
yeah.
analogies. I love
Oh,
the
I
cooking
just want
analogies,
cake,
by
that's
the
all.
way.
Sorry.
Anyone has cake.
Let's wrap things up. By the way, take a look at the AFC South standings. We talked about this at the top of our little web program.
Okay.
Hey, a
Look
win
out,
Sunday
NFL.
night.
All right, Jags had a bye, so everybody in theory could be 3 in the loss column at the end of Week 6. I guess would be where the tie would fall.
Correct,
If
yeah.
the Colts
So,
win and also
yeah.
the Titans and the Jags. I don't think they play head-to-head. They don't.
Long way to go. But
Anyway.
that's let's hear it for the AFC South.
8 and 8.
gentlemen.
8 and 8.
Yeah.
And the crowd goes wild.
All right. So what happens Sunday night?
I don't.
It feels an awful lot like the game we just saw. A couple teams that are just.
Here's the thing, though. Houston's really good at home.
That's true. That's a valid. Yeah.
But the Colts are beating them there.
assessment.
Colts are beating them there.
I just feel Houston just
but-
feels like they're teetering on the brink of insanity down there with all that right now.
Yeah, and you know what? And the Colts, to a certain degree, too, right now, is sort of like Tiger Woods when he kind of lost his invincibility, if you will. There was a time where he would just intimidate guys by just being on the same tee as his opponents. And then as he started his little downslide, I mean,
Right.
everybody was like, "Oh, right.
Okay.
Okay, it's Tiger Woods.
Yeah, here we go.
I'm just going to
Boom.
beat him."
Yeah, it is.
And they did.
The South
And-
is caught up.
Yeah, and the Colts have dominated the division for a while, and it was just kind of the horseshoes on the field, and you'd see these teams just wilt, especially in the closing moments of football games. But that aura is gone.
Right.
No, I mean, Jacksonville doesn't flinch when they face the
No.
Colts anymore.
No.
The Texans won't do that either on Sunday night.
When the big white helmets come into your stadium, you're like, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
what's up? It's
Meh.
the Colts. Meh.
Meh.
Meh. That's awesome. Keep the comments coming, by the way, on Facebook Live. Great stuff here tonight. We're back here next Monday at 8 o'clock. We'll see if we're talking about a Colts win and a first-place tie in the division. Wow. This is crazy.
It is.
Crazy times we're living in. Thanks so much for tuning in. For Brad Brown, Michael Grady, I'm Dave First. We'll see you next week at 8 o'clock.